Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fans of the sports world. This is your boy MossBurgh with Level Up Sports 10, bringing it to you from WTP Sports Dudes. My uncle that brought me into it. It's just been a blessing to do what we do. And it's just a blessing to actually come across people you just don't, think that you would come across in certain ways. But I know when you position yourself in life, things can happen. And I am here today, as you see, with Jeslord Boateng, native here in Ohio, straight out of Dublin, Ohio, former Dublin Kaufman superstar, and he took his talents to the D1 of Louisiana Tech. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jeslord Boateng. How's it doing this evening, Mr. Boateng? How are you doing?
I'm blessed, and I'm blessed. How about yourself?
Pretty good, man. Appreciate you joining me as well this evening, man. And we discussed for the past couple of weeks since meeting, man. It's just a blessing to come across meeting you. And as we see here this evening, a blessing to have you here on the show. And we just going to, dibble and dabble into some of the talk, about the sports world within itself and some of your upbringing, in football itself. If you could, we'll just give a shout out. And just want to thank our sponsors, Supercat Nano, who does all of our music, a lot of our editing, along with Fanduze, one of the guys. And then we have K&T Good Eats, have Mr. Bird out there. And we also have his sister at Social Nutrition. Those are some good eats in the east side of town here in Columbus, Ohio. And you can follow everyone that I'm mentioning on their platform, social media, IG, Facebook. And we also have the Chief with his apparel line and clothing, and that is DE Chief, CHIEF 5991. He's on TikTok as well. And just want to thank those sponsors as well and appreciating you guys and you guys appreciating what we do and what we bring to the table for the world as well. Mr. Boateng, native of Dublin, Ohio. Once again, how are you doing this evening?
Doing good, man. Blessed.
So give me a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little about your upbringing. What was one of the things that brought you to football? Being a native here in a big area of Dublin, some people don't know about, but it produced a lot of gems.
For sure. So a little bit about myself. I come from a family of, I have 3 other siblings. So what drove me to play football was my older brother. His name's George. He played football, and his friends played football as well. When I was younger, I really played soccer. I was really a big soccer guy.
Yeah.
But I saw my older brother. I saw him play football, so I was like, oh, maybe I'm gonna go. I want to play, should try it out. And then I started playing football in 7th grade. And so I was like 11, 12 at the time. So I started playing when I was 12. I remember I was getting into football. I didn't know what was going on. I was playing linebacker at the time. So I was just running around, just tackling people, but had no idea what's going on. But that's really how I really started. So
that's sweet. And I noticed that you played at Dublin Kaufman High School. I remember playing against Dublin Kaufman. I played basketball, at Columbus East, and we played you guys. And I could only imagine how the crowd volume was for the basketball game. So for football, tell me a little bit about how your years were on the football side at Dublin Kaufman High School, one of the powerhouses here in Ohio as well.
For sure. So freshman year, I was on the freshman team. It was good, but it's freshman football, not that big of a deal. Yeah. Then my sophomore year, I played the first couple games. I played JV, the first 2 games, and then I remember our senior defensive end had got hurt, and they called me up, and then it was history from there. That's when I moved up to varsity. our atmosphere was actually crazy. Our games are always packed out. We had great fans, great students, always cheering us on. So I had a great high school experience. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a great thing. And you spoke about next man up.
Mm.
Someone coming in as a sophomore and someone getting hurt, and that's something we speak about in football and just being ready. And when your time come, you just have no clue. And we see, given your resume, as I spoke to you before, from Kaufman to being Akron to Michigan State, and then finding that home as a Bulldog at Louisiana Tech. I noticed you were a tackling machine, and from the time we've been speaking, you mentioned that of how you just played the position, and not knowing that seven in the seventh grade that you would be this great linebacker. And what I seen and what I looked at the film, I seen a great linebacker, great tackling machine, as you spoke on. What's what's one thing, if you could think about that time up until now, what can you tell a young kid out there at that age of 12 playing youth football, not knowing if they're going to play? You got kids giving a lot of money up and things like that as far as in their parents. So, what is something that you could tell them to push forward and know that there's another down, there's opportunity, for you to continue in what you're doing?
For sure. So for me, advice I would give is don't ever be scared to ask questions. Because at the end of the day, those questions are gonna make you better. Because when I was younger, I hated asking questions. I always thought I would look stupid asking questions. So never never think that's dumb to because the same questions that you can have,
Yeah.
another person probably has those same questions and they just are not brave enough to speak up because the same reason why I thought hey, if I ask questions, I'm gonna be seen as dumb. So
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And one thing that we notice about this college football, you being, that top linebacker for your team, your senior year, give us what can you remember from your senior year within itself to where, I just remember seeing some of the plays, how the teammates, huddled around you and reacted to different things you were doing on the field. How did coming from, let's say, that 12-year-old, then being that sophomore, coming into that role, and then being that senior, after coming, going from this school to the next, but really finding your home and cementing your name, because I felt that, like I said, over what I watched and what I seen, just a tackling machine, great specimen at what you do. And, if it was up to me, I definitely would say you deserve a shot at that next level, and I'm not sugarcoating, I'm not being biased. I've watched the game for a long time. So just thinking from your senior year, is there anything that you could remember that you've took with you through life itself to help you move forward?
yeah, for sure. Basically, all the trials and tribulations that I had went through at Michigan State, at Akron, it prepared me to have this breakout senior year I had. So at Michigan State, so basically my whole college career, I've went through a lot of coaching turnover. So at Michigan State, I got recruited under Mark D'Antonio. He was there for 2 years. Then he retired. Then Mel Tucker came in. It was a different regime. They wanted their own guys. So it was best.
Understandable.
Yeah, it was understandable. It would be best for me to transfer, move on. Went to Akron. I was at Akron for 2 years. Basically, same thing. New regime.
Yeah.
Coach got fired at Akron after the 2021 season. Then Joe Moorhead comes in. New regime wants his own guys. Wants was understandable. Not mad at that. Then went to La Tech, and I was in a great linebacker room. I remember we had an when I was coming. We had an LSU transfer coming in, an Arkansas transfer coming in. They already had a linebacker on the team that was going to Boston College as well. Well, he went to Boston College before he got to La Tech the year prior, and we had a guy that went to Stephen F. Austin, and he played under the defensive coordinator at La Tech years prior. So I was going against a lot of talent at the time, but I knew that I was ready for it. I played with great guys at Michigan State. I played with good guys at Akron. So I was not scared of the moment. I was there for one reason, and one reason only was just to dominate, have fun my last year. Don't overthink. Like I said, ask all the questions that you were wondering in your head, and that's basically what made me have a great year.
Sweet, sweet. And I'm gonna jump into a couple of the comments. We have Mr. Lawrence Whitmore tuning in. Said, "Let's go." Appreciate you tuning in this evening, Mr. Whitmore. And then we also have post game tuning in. One of the guys from the cast crew. Appreciate you tuning in as well. And that gives me a thought on this just topic of when you talk about coach regime, coaching changes, that gives me, one of the questions that I had brought up. And give us your thoughts on the NIL, because I know the NIL could, possibly have a lot of effects, and players bring, coaching changes, players coming in, them wanting their own regimen within itself. But give us your thoughts on NIL. What is your thoughts on this NIL?
My thoughts on NIL, I like it. I feel like if you're a big name guy at your school and your school is profiting off of you, like I feel like you should be able to get money off of that. The one issue I have is when guys are starting to focus on the money before like making plays on the field. Like if you make plays on the field, like the money will come. You don't need to worry about that. But my issue is when backup guys are entering the portal asking for crazy amounts of money.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem. Like at the end of the day, you played this game because you love it. You didn't play it for the money.
Yeah.
And like I said before, if you're making plays, I promise you the money will come. You don't need to chase it.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's something we talk about a lot within our chat. We've had, a couple of talks on it on a different podcast. And it's something to see. And I definitely like your perspective. We want them to stay student then athlete, besides athlete. And then you kind of lose that student aspect. You think more athlete with that money, and you, like you said, you lose sight of it. So it's definitely a good thing that you have that same mindset, and definitely understandable, because like you said, if you out there, you playing and you making plays, they will definitely see you, and they will definitely appreciate that in that NIL signing.
For sure.
Is there anything that you can think of that just from, how you a great memory from your senior year? Because I noticed you were not just a tackle machine. You almost had 100 tackles that season.
Mm-hmm.
About 40 tackles for loss. I mean, just a machine out there. And I don't know. Like I said before, man, when I seen you in person, I had to know that you were an athlete. You was at my job. And once again, I appreciate you, because you never know who you come across, man. You could just be at work like I was, just serving and just welcoming people in on a great weekend. And who knew I would have ran into Mr. Boateng, and we would be sitting here having this great conversation on this Saturday evening. And I just appreciate you. Anything you want to say to anyone out there that's going possibly through a college situation where they're on the team and they don't know if they want to stay with the team? And just make me think about when you were that next man up. That's a big deal to me, because it's a lot of players in that position, being that next man up, being ready to play. what advice could you give to that person that's behind a 5 or 4 star player and waiting it out, continuing to grind and play your part and know that your time is coming?
For sure. Uh, I mean, a lot goes into it. Like you could be, say you're a freshman and you're behind a 4 star guy that is a junior, senior. Like you have no reason to leave. Like you just got there. Like the coaches that brought you in, like are still there. Like just keep getting better. Just keep grinding. Keep working in the weight room. Keep getting your conditioning better. Your nutrition, get all that better, and you'll be surprised what happens just when you put your head down and work and actually want to get better. That's what I would say. Like if on paper, if you just look at me and you're like, oh wow, this guy went to 3 schools, but there's that like you have to look into it like context wise. Like I feel like when I was in college or when I was in the portal and they seen that I was a guy that's been to multiple schools, like some coaches, some college coaches like are like they don't like that. They steer away from that. They don't want guys that have been to multiple schools. But
Yeah,
once you get to know somebody, get context, you're like, okay, that makes sense. Like, I mean, you have no control of your coaches getting fired or retiring. So
agree.
that's what I would say.
And I would say, man, I commend you. A lot of people fail to realize, like, the situation you was in, it was out of your control. You can't worry about what you can't control, but you made sure that you stayed the course and continue to grind, and just a lot of things that we talk about within our group chat, even times we may have spoken on a podcast about it. It's just great to see that you put that effort in to give us something, not to just discuss, but for someone to see now. They can go look, and I would love for people to go look and check out some of your footage. Go check out those stats to see this. Jeslord Boateng was definitely a tackle machine, a monster out there on that field. And like he said, he just continue, and just knowing that you said you was into soccer, having your older brothers to look up to. And another question, one that I had on the docket, I know you spoke on it. Did they help you with life lessons? How important were they with life lessons?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like, in my own opinion, I feel like sports is the greatest lesson. Like, if you play the sport at any level, like you know how to deal with adversity. You know when times get tough, like it always will get better. You don't have to think like, oh, if something bad happens, oh, it's the end of the world. Like
Yeah,
it teaches you, like sports taught me, like when you put down, when you put your head down and work, good things will happen. But just because you put down your head and work, that doesn't mean like, oh, you're gonna get results immediately. Like, no, that's not true. You can put down your head and work for. I've seen guys put their head down and work for 5 years, never start a game, never get anything from it. No, but what you what you put in, whatever you reap, you're gonna sow. Whether that's on the football field, whether that's in the classroom, whether that's anything in life. When you keep putting the work in, I feel like good things will eventually happen to you in some aspect of life.
yeah. You hit that right on the cylinder. And, it's something that you say that because ever since, my uncle called me, I was injured when he called me. And I play basketball still at my age on the side. So I answered it and I said yes. And it's like, I love doing this.
Mhm.
And just hearing you say that, I appreciate you. And it's just going to make me continue to go even more and even look to make our conversations a regular, just
So,
to catch up and let people know, hey, continue to do what you're doing, things of that nature. Because I think if that's something that we can come together and do, I think it'll make life so much more easier in different ways. And like you said, sports is something for me that made life a lot easier. I played quite a few sports. Basketball was what I chose to do in high school, so definitely can make things a lot easier with adversity as well.
For sure.
Our guy FanDuel Zay, appreciate you tuning in, FanDuel Zay. He said, "Do you see yourself getting into coaching?"
This is funny that this question got asked because my high school coach, so he just got hired. He was at Dublin Kaufman for like
Mhm.
20 something years, Mark Crabtree, and he went over to DeSales. And I remember I texted him congratulating him, and then he was like, "Oh," he texted me. He was like, "Hey, maybe you can come coach one of these, come coach for us." I was like, "I'll have to think about it. I don't know," but I've definitely thought about it. I've talked with my friends, like, "Hey, it'd be
Sweet.
cool to coach," but I don't know. Right now, I'm kind of just getting my life situated, like figuring out what I want to do. I kind of already know what I want to do, but just getting my uh, work life situated. And I feel like one day I'll coach. I don't know when, but I think I could see myself definitely coaching.
I like that. I like that. And you said at the sales?
Yeah, he coached. He was the offensive coordinator at DeSales
Sweet, sweet.
for a couple years, and now he's the head coach at Dublin Jerome. So
Wow. And
yeah,
from Kaufman to Jerome, that would be
yeah,
that
that's
would
what.
be that would be something amazing.
Yeah,
That would definitely be something. And I'm
yeah,
sure that would be something that the whole city of Dublin would love.
hmm
Being a star player for Kaufman and going to Jerome, and we know how they are. That's two teams that definitely go at it, back and forth throughout the seasons, man.
for
That'd
sure,
definitely be something classic.
for
And it's
sure.
good to see you, like you said, managing your life, and getting things in order. I love the background. I love the jersey. I'm gonna
Oh,
just,
yeah.
get me one of them one day. Definitely look good, man. But I don't know what else to say, man. If there's anything that's on your mind, I've definitely been enjoying this time. Not only this time, but from the first time we met, serving you, when you came down and sat in the restaurant. It was just a pleasure to see you walk in, not even knowing that we would be at this stage that we are today, having the type of communication and transparency that we had. And I appreciate you taking the time out to text, get back with me, and be able to have this interview. And I see FanDuel Zay, he got another question. He said, "What college game do you have the fondest memories of?"
Ooh, college game. Ooh, hold on.
It's a
I
great
think
question,
that's a good
FanDuel Zay.
question. Uh,
Man, he's played a lot of ball. We talk
it's a
about the
lot of
quarterbacks
ball.
playing 25 plus. So we know that
Yeah.
being a senior, we love that you played those 4 years, because we think when you play those years, it definitely gives you advantage. And what we mean is just that experience that helps. Seeing
hmm
so many different plays and things like that. So
Um, I would probably say I'm gonna be a little selfish here, but I probably would say I'd probably say when we played Buffalo in 2021, I think I had like 13 tackles, I had like 3.5 TFLs.
yeah, yeah. I remember the
But
stat sheet from that game. I was looking at them.
yeah, so I'd probably say that game. Yeah, I'll probably say that game.
And
But
that
we didn't
was
win. We didn't win that game, but I'll probably say that game. But
and I noticed over your career, it was many games where you had double digit tackles and had tackles for loss. 3.5, I think, when you had the double digits is the lowest. Because I
hmm
remember seeing one, I think you had about 6 or 7 tackles for loss in a double digit tackle game. So that's
sure,
just great, man. Just great to even have that memory, man, and be able to share with us.
yeah,
And I
sure.
don't know if that was what era that was in and who was playing in Buffalo, but it's just good to just be able to take the time back,
hmm
and just to think of those days as well. So
For sure.
any Van Doze, man, he said, I put him on the spot. It is a lot of games to think of.
Yeah.
He's one of the young guys. He comes up with so much stuff with us. He puts a lot of our edits together. He's putting our intros and our outros together as well with Super Cat Nano, which we appreciate as well. And he said, last question, what is one thing or a couple if you would change anything about college football? It can be on or off the field.
This is a good one. I'm actually ready for this question. So one thing I would change is my fault. My dog
Oh, no,
is
you
tripping.
good. Beautiful. Beautiful.
But one thing I would change is uh in the portal and stuff, like when they see a lot of like smaller school guys, like guys from Max, Conference USA, Sunbelt American, they see those guys like going off having great seasons, and the Power Five guys can just easily, hey, we'll give you $1 million if you come transfer here.
Yeah.
I feel like that is hurting the group of five level football, and I feel like there should be some sort of like payout.
It's a good.
There should be some sort of payout to the group of five to get that player, because that smaller school was the school that took a chance on them, and they were able to get on that platform and do what they do. That's the one thing I would change.
Wow, we like that perspective. And Fan Doze, he said very good perspective. And we talk about the portal a lot. And I believe in our discussion, we think it should be one, just one portal, to where, because it's like you said, so much they could just get plucked. You throw money anywhere, they're gonna go, and it's just a change. And we understand the landscape has changed, but we don't want, as fans, as guys, as former athletes, and even some of coaches even don't want them to get lost and miss the sight of being a student first. So that definitely explains that as well. With that being said, I really didn't have any other questions. I had some of the guys from the podcast, Fandoze, he's one of the guys, Post Game is one of the guys, as well as WTP Sports Dudes that's in the podcast chat with us as well. And they have their perspective channels. Is there anything certain you want to say to any family out there, any former teammates, coaches, anyone in particular? The platform is yours. You can take that time to speak on it if you would like.
I would just say thank you to anybody that's ever had a positive impact on my football journey, allowed me to get my 2 degrees that I have from Akron and Louisiana Tech. I know the road was not always great, but looking back, like, I've had a lot of great memories. And when I look back, I just see that if you have perseverance, you can go a long way in life, and a lot of great things can happen to you. So I'll just say, whoever is in my situation or is something similar in my situation, just keep going. Like, things will always get better. And when you put the work in and believe in God and have faith.
Definitely, man. I like that. Appreciate you. And that's, man, that definitely just gave me a little chill, man. That was definitely some humbling words. And Fan Doze said, yes, sir. Congratulations and good work, young brother.
All right, man. I appreciate you.
And then for me, and you come out, I work tomorrow. If you come out, I got a pair of them waffles. I don't care if you want them chocolate chip, peanut butter, however you want them 2 waffles, I got you, boss. They're going to be on me, man, for sure.
I'm actually going to be out of town tomorrow. I got to go visit my brother at Dayton. But, yeah, I'm going to definitely have to swing by, though, for sure.
Yeah, tap in, man. I know I'm going to be going out of town next weekend. I got a wedding I'm going to be in, so I won't be there next weekend. But just tap me. Those waffles, whenever you come through next time, man, they're going to definitely be on me. And I'll make sure I take care of that. Don't even worry yourself, man. If you got that hunger and you need some waffles, and I'm there, come through.
Hey, for sure. Appreciate you, my guy.
No problem. Appreciate you as well. And for everyone that tuned in, Fandoze, Post Game, WTP Sports Dudes, City League TV, Ask Somebody, Man of Many Hats. He got so many different names. Parlay Poe, all the guys. Mike Macios, that's my man. Got the partnership with at Cap City Predators. Make sure you tap in with Cap City Predators Youth Football League 12 and under. We're trying to build something different. We practice out there on the west side as well. Appreciate you tuning in, Mike. I got you. See you in the morning for them waffles. You know, I'll be there about 6:15, 6:30. Other than that, man, like I said, I appreciate you joining this evening, taking time out with us in this sports journey that we on. And like I said, anytime, man, we could definitely do it again. The platform will be yours, and we'll just go through what we do as well as every time. And anytime you want to join us, even for our college football Saturdays or college football talk throughout the week, just let me know. I can get the link sent to you, and we could bring you right into that chat and join us with our discussions as well.
Sorry, man. I appreciate you for having me on and letting me tell my story.
Oh, nah, man. Pleasure is all mine. Like I said, man, I appreciate you so wholeheartedly, and I'm just humbled to be able to do these things, and especially have met you and be able to continue our journey together as well in our respective ways also.
For sure.
Other than that being said, as we say here at WTP Sports Dudes, Level Up Sports 10, we always tell them peace, because it's always peace, and we love hair grease at times in our life at one point, and we just like the peace in life and peace in general. It's always something that keeps life going. So we appreciate you for joining. All the sports fans out there, we appreciate y'all for tuning in as well. And we'll tap into you guys sometime this week. We got the finals talk. We got more college football talk coming up. It's just so much. So make sure y'all stay tuned in, and you will definitely see Mr. Boateng again on one of our college football Saturdays. What's happening talk and all that great stuff as well. Other than that, as we said before, peace. Appreciate you,
peace,
Mr. Boateng.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.